Hey there, hi there, Geminis. It's me, Priscilla B, and welcome to your Dream, Love, and Shadow reading. So, to get started, I'm going to draw a Door of Destiny Oracle card from you. And I have for you here Door of Wisdom, Insight, Enlightenment, Experience, Understanding, and Intelligence. Okay? This beautiful owl here, the spirit animal for um, that. Yes, for wisdom, of course. Also getting like Harry Potter vibes. And there's actually a new Harry Potter series starting in Christmas time. Uh, so that's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I watched the trailer and it definitely gave me like goosebumps and chills, and I really felt so like positive about it. I know that the author J.K. Rowling has a political, there's a lot of what's the word for it? I don't know, like conflict and stuff, like politically. There's a lot happening with that, with her opinions, but I still really always have um, definitely enjoyed the Harry Potter series, separate from all the political stuff. Um, Never really saw it as like a whole political thing, just as a fun story. Um, Anyways, so intelligence, experience, understanding. Okay, so now I'm gonna get some Citadel cards for you. I have the Painter, um, the Diviner, Divine Timing, Evaluation, and Productivity and Creation. Okay. So, yeah, wow. Okay. We also have the Hound with a broken sword going into the wolf's mouth, loyalty, chains, and promise. Yeah. Um, it just shows me, it just seems to me that, this is like you're evaluating things right now. You're on like a different wavelength, I feel like, than everyone else right now. I don't know what wavelength it is. It's definitely something to do with productivity and creation. Um, and the Hound, loyalty, chains, promises. Yeah, it's definitely has a lot to do with being loyal, I feel like, to your inner self right now. Like there's an inner desire here, an inner feeling for you, an inner energy where you want to express yourself more, but you're also dealing with a lot of conflict. Okay, Gemini, and the conflict is coming from a place where you're trying to make peace. You're trying to incorporate these peaceful methods of dealing with conflict, but you're meeting that energy is being met with restraint. Okay, from other opposing energies and such. So then we have the Runaway. Okay, secrets running form problems, and then the open cage with the flower blossoming. Okay, so you're not running from problems, you're facing them. You're not hiding anything, there are no secrets here. But the runaway energy is definitely someone who wants to get away from the problems. They don't want to address them, and they want to keep these secrets, right, that aren't even secrets, really. Everyone knows about it, but yet they're pretending that it's this whole big secret thing when it's really not. And you're just like, let's just put it out there in the open. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. We need to address all of this before we move forward and have one big celebration, right? And that's really coming from a place of enlightenment, because I feel like it's taking you some time to adjust to this new mindset, because it's a new feeling, it's a new scary place, but it's actually a good place. It's a warmer place, it's a safer place. Um, yep, we have the vengeance, overcoming slights, a choice. Okay, somebody here is not understanding the purpose of an anchor, of like holding down the fort, like keeping things stable and secure. Somebody is definitely on a drift here. The merchant, Okay, self-worth and trade. So justice, the scales of balance here, and harmony. This is what you're creating here. You're bringing justice to a situation. That is what your creative mind, your productivity here is coming from, a place of balance and harmony. Um, that's the result of dealing with someone making the choice to run away from the problems that have been occurring and the secrets that they have been, not bringing out into light. I'm personally one that it's like, if this is something that's going to destroy people's lives, or is actively, we got to deal with it now, right? We can't just push it aside any longer. Yeah, so that being said, we have the muse, the sailor setting sail, yep, and the puppeteer and the aspirant, ambition, diligence, and setbacks with the 2 keys. Yeah, that's what you're facing right now, because you have a lot of generosity here when it comes to your energy and your time, but like you're also dealing with like a lot of very like naive mindsets when it comes to like your stability. And I feel like they're trying to play the whole like angle of, well, we're the puppeteers, explanations, apologies, like we're the masters here, like you owe us here, right? Where it's like, no, I don't owe you anything. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many strings attached, okay? Because I feel like money could be involved with this. New influences and wanderlust. Yeah, you're setting sail here on a different ship. You're moving in a different direction because of all these setbacks that you've been facing. So that being said, let's see here what comes through with matters of the heart and love in regards to this. Because your dreams are showing that there's an angle here that keeps being played, that everyone wants to make you feel like dumb or stupid about. Like, yep, there it is. Ace of Pentacles, abundance. Yep. A lot of people keep twisting this into being about money, right? Like you owe us because of money, because of materialism. But you're coming from a much deeper place spiritually here, soulfully here. And they're not coming from that. So looking at this Ace of Pentacles, because the universe wants you to have your abundance. It wants you to have your financial prosperity, your success taken seriously. And we have manifestation. But there's also a lot of bad investments and financial loss here that people are tying a lot of emotional things to. And that's why your dreams are expressing these feelings of like, why me? Like, why do I have to go through this, right? This card represents new material opportunities, prosperity, and grounded beginnings. It reflects potential for growth and stability. An opportunity will soon arise for you to increase your material wealth or health. Through driven actions, you can use it to manifest your goals. Sorry. That's it. Okay. The relationship may offer financial stability or security. This allows a solid foundation to focus on other ventures either together or independently. Career. The prospect of a new job, promotion, or project may soon arrive. Take advantage to push your career further. Reverse. The coin is falling from the hand. Be extra careful with any business or financial decisions. Start saving for a rainy day fund if you don't already have one prepared. Yeah. Right. But, like, that's easier said than done. Okay. Especially when you have a lot going on here. But let's take a look here at your Alice of Tarot land, because that's going to show us a little more of this dream stuff happening here. Okay. Ooh, Page of Cups. Okay, so a messenger bringing in some emotional fulfillment, and the 10 of Coins. Okay, There's the money again. So a lot of financial things are attached to this materialism, right? And also a lot of these things are attached to you wanting just like a shred of emotional genuinity, okay? So that's being tied in here to your dreams and your shadow energy, because like I feel like you're trying very hard to like make things work for this 10 of coins, for instance. um yeah, 10 of pentacles, let's see, coins, pentacles, okay. So long-term success, legacy, and family, that's something that you take very seriously, okay? But it's not being taken seriously by this other energy, this reverse shadow queen energy. That's not like a boss bitch energy, you know? It's like that energy is being channeled into like very destructive tendencies. So that's why you have financial loss and family disputes, because this shadow energy, it might not just be a shadow queen either. Like, it might not just be a feminine shadow queen type distorted energy. I feel like it's also coming from uh, a lot of other different energies too. Um, the Ten of Pentacles symbolizes legacy, stability, and long-term abundance. It represents generational support and lasting security. That's what's being attacked right now, Gemini. It's like you're doing all this work to protect that, and someone over here in the corner is doing everything they can to destroy that. Okay, Gemini. So back to this like Page of Cups energy with the Ten of Cups. Page of Cups. With the Ten of Pentacles. So it's really just about like you needing an emotional, like, good, positive message. You're dealing with a lot here, so that would be good to have. And the Page of Cups is inspiration, creativity, playfulness. Reversed, you have creative blocks, emotional immaturity, description. The Page of Cups symbolizes creative openness, intuition, and emotional discovery. It encourages listening to your inner feelings. A burst of inspiration or creativity may soon come from a surprising place. Keep an open mind and embrace the opportunity when it arises. Relationships, exploring new activities will bring playfulness to the relationship. Have fun and be spontaneous. Career, you may be fascinated by a new project or role at work. The newness may bring with it some challenges, but the work will feel satisfying and bring growth. Reverse, something is stopping you from expressing yourself. Perhaps self-doubt is casting a shadow over your ideas. It may also signal someone who is overly sensitive or emotionally immature. So obviously that is what's been blocking this whole progress that you've been making, is that emotionally immature level of energy that you've been dealing with. So separating yourself from that is going to be really what saves you, right? And then we have here the Wands, Dust, 10 of Wands. Okay, so this talks about a lot of different things. Like, for example, what do we got here? Dust, Melkuth of Adzulith, Saturn and Sagittarius, a line in the sand, excessive force, guilt, regret, overdoing it, and too much. Your line in the sand is because you've been like, there's a lot of feelings here where you are dealing with way too much. So, you really have to separate yourself from that energy. Okay. So basically this whole thing with the Ten of Wands So this means like 4 worlds or levels of reality, 10 Sephirite aspects of divine energy. Malkuth, manifestation, reality grounding, what shows up physically. Zulith, the highest, most divine, closest to source realm. So the manifestation point, the highest divine realm. And that's the Ace of Pentacles, right? It's the pure spiritual intention in actual form. It's energy, divine energy that's pure, that starts becoming something real. Setting boundaries, saying no to unsafe environments, choosing peace for yourself, making it real, clear, aligned, truth-based, okay? Not dealing with the drama, okay? Yeah. And then we have here, interesting, Knight of Wands, okay? This is an interesting picture. Almost like it seems like there's like a little baby dragon in there. And there's fire and a bird. So this Knight of Wands, okay, this is air of fire, lusty, impulsive, dynamic, hot, wild, dazzling, rapturous, aggressive, gets what it wants by taking it, holding on and letting go. Okay, so you want to let go of, that energy that was like not helping you, and move into a new energy. So I'm gonna pull a shadow card for you. Right now, I feel like a lot of like soft intuition. Clarity. Seek clarity through reflection and mindful awareness. Clear visions, guides, wise decisions. Yes. So that's what you're doing, is you're seeking clarity. All right. Now I'm going to draw one of these like animal messages. Ooh. We've got the flamingo, courageous steps. Each step is full of courage, no matter how far ahead. Yeah, and I feel like that's the thing, is you're seeking clarity, but it's like endless effort. I strive relentlessly, aiming for unlimited success. You're aiming for unlimited success here, but you also have beyond ordinary. I am not satisfied with mediocrity. I relentlessly pursue excellence. Okay? The clarity coming through for that is like, illuminate the future. I illuminate the road to the future with every effort I make, and rekindle hope. After darkness, the dawn of hope always arrives. Surpass myself, and my sky becomes even broader. Yeah, all of these are like so good for what's happening right now. Look at all these cute little critters. And then there's like a baby otter with her little cute babies. Okay, so what you're doing here is you're opening up the door. Well, you've already opened up the door to wisdom, right? But what that's giving you is more insight to what you're doing. Learn, knowledge is a tree growing with every leaf. Dream big, wings. Strengthen by gazing at the horizon. And be brave. Fear is a garden, not an owner. Exactly. And look at this. It's a guardian. I thought it said gardener. Be brave. Fear is a guardian, not an owner. And rest. A fallow land yields the richest harvests. Okay? So you have be brave, rest, dream big. Okay? And learning. And then you get this beautiful like celebration. Joy is the echo of a soul at peace. That's what you're coming into an alignment with. We have, death and temperance. Wow. Very bold. Because obviously death is a serious thing, right? When it's literal, especially when it's literal. And then spiritually also, it's very serious. So the temperance, energy with that is like it's two very strong energies that are trying to make sense of what you're dealing with. Because I feel like there's a lot of death around you, change, transformation, endings. The reverse is the fear of change and clinging to the past. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, we don't want the cycles of the past to keep recurring. We want things to change. We want things to be different. So that's a scary thing. Death represents transformation, endings, and new beginnings. It marks necessary change and the clearing of the old cycles to welcome renewal. Death represents change and transformation. The past needs to die to make room for a brighter future. So it seems there's like this reoccurring theme here with the death and the temperance. Not because it's came out, like obviously it has only come out now, but I just feel like death is like the perfect shadow card to get right now. Death represents change, okay. Something needs to change for the relationship to grow stronger. It could be an aspect or a person. If looking for a relationship, you may need to change an attitude or belief. Career ends create beginnings, and the same is true for work. This could mean changing jobs, a bad habit, a team member, or a mindset. Reverse, clinging to the past or resisting change will not help the situation. It is time to let go and embrace the change. Temperance, fluidity, moderation, patience. Balance, extremes, excess is what you're dealing with. Description. Temperance symbolizes balance, harmony, moderation, and healing. It calls for patience, flow, and integration of opposites. Upright, meaning the angel is a reminder that you can achieve peace through imbalance and moderation. Be wary of letting extreme behaviors define you. Relationships. You may be trying to force results from a relationship. Don't be overbearing, but don't become apathetic either. Career. Achieving your goals can be a slow process, and that's okay. You will get there in time, but be careful not to throw off your work-life balance by overworking yourself. Reversed. Perhaps you've been overindulging in food, drink, and behavior or in emotion. Scale things back and keep in mind long-term effects of your actions. All right. So, what that all means is, like, you're already very wise. You've already incorporated so much into your life now that it's kind of like, at this point, you just need to, like, step back and give yourself a break. Because what you're dealing with is a lot of, I feel like, abuse of power and control. So that needs to die. Yeah, judgment here. Exactly. And the 7 of coins. Okay. So when you have these sort of like difficult decisions to make and difficult judgments to make, you're not going to really want to be doing that all day, every day. You're going to want to just get it done with, right? Put it out there. It's out there, boom, done, and move forward, right? So that's why let judgment handle the rest. Let that energy be what needs to happen if it needs to happen. You've already done enough here for sure. So judgment, rebirth, reflection, awakening, failure to learn, and self-doubt. Description. Judgment symbolizes awakening, reflection, and personal rebirth. It calls for evaluating your past and embracing your highest potential. Upright. You may be at or nearing the end of a significant point in your life. The universe is asking you to learn from your actions and forgive your mistakes to become the best form of yourself. Relationships. Look at the relationship and see what can be changed for the better. Make peace with the past and let it go. Past mistakes are part of the growing process and do not define you. Learn from the experiences and improve. Now, you may be making the same mistakes without learning their lessons. On the other hand, you may be judging yourself too harshly, which is trapping you in self-doubt. And that's really why you need to like let go of these energies that aren't serving you anymore. 7 of Pentacles. They're not serving your greater good. Long-term goals, investing growth, low returns, lack of growth. This card represents patience along with temperance. See? Effort and reflection and progress. It encourages trust in steady growth. You are encouraged to stay on track for your long-term goals. It will require a lot of work and the going may be slow, but it will be worth it. Relationships, the relationship may be slow to flourish and require some work or compromises. However, if you put in the effort, you will reap the benefits. Career, work may be feeling like a grind. Trust that people will see your contributions as you continue to learn and grow. Reversed, this warns that the time and energy you're putting into a project may not pay off. Take another look at if the payout is worth the effort. So steel-like resilience, unstoppable in storms, and source of courage. Each challenge makes me braver, and the flame in my heart never fades. Unstoppable in storms, no matter how strong the storm, I still insist on my own direction. And steel-like resilience, my will is as strong as steel, fearless of the storms. That's that chaotic energy that you were dealing with. Okay, because if we go back and we look at the very beginning here, with the Knight of Wands, that's like fire, passion, aggressive, get what it wants by taking it. Let that go. Let that not be what defines you, okay, moving forward. And then you have the Page of Cups, which is kind of like, in an ideal world, you have an emotionally intelligent person helping you out, but really, realistically, it looks like you have someone who's like emotionally immature. And then you have to like let go and cut ties with you don't need to explain yourself to anybody. You've already laid down the law for them. There's no need for you to apologize. You haven't done anything wrong here. You've established boundaries. That's what this Wands of Dust is all about. Is like, I already have enough going on in my life. I don't need extra. I don't want extra things going on in my life. I want stability. And when you see the chaos and when you encounter the chaos, you just call it out as it is. When you see the puppeteer, you don't explain to them like anything. You really don't need to explain anything to them, but you just let them know, no thank you. You know what? Like, I'm good. Like, and then you have like the merchant, self-worth, trade. Like, what are you willing to give up for your happiness, right? You shouldn't have to have that choice. That shouldn't be an option. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, financial abundance. Yeah, so just when it comes to dreams, there is a lot of miscommunication. There is a lot of misunderstandings. So that's why you're feeling so confused. But when you break it down into like, okay, I know what I need to do now. I need to stay within my boundaries. I need to be resilient. I need to be like steel. That's your wisdom. That's your enlightenment. Because from your experiences, you've dealt with this energy before where you're like, what's the deal with all of this? And now the deal is to bring you clarity. And clear vision guides wise decisions, reflection and mindfulness awareness. And you are being mindful. You're like, well, I know what the deal is here, but I don't like it. I don't like this arrangement. It doesn't help me. It doesn't make me feel good, and it upsets me. And now that you've said that, they're going to have this energy, these multiple energies, they're going to have to go back and figure it out. Because at the end of the day, you're the one with this like boss bitch energy, right? Like, you're the one who's like keeping your cool here, when you could very well be the one who's upset, but that's what they're doing, right? And projecting onto you. So stay within your clarity, stay within your mindfulness, and you will surpass this. Look at this, surpass myself, and my sky becomes even broader. Yeah, because you want to surpass that need, that feeling, and that emotion of like, oh my God, these people like drive me crazy. But like, you want to get past that. So you're going to just say, no, thank you. I don't want the chaos. I don't want the drama. that's not what I enjoy and that's not how I want to spend my time. And then you move forward with clarity. So that's what I have for you, Geminis. Love and light always. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button. Take care now. Bye.